Hi everyone, I'm David Azancot, the 44 iOS product owner. In this session, we are going to go deeper and see how to build custom stuff like custom formatters, custom templates, and see how easily to find the right template. Finally, we'll see how to build custom action forms. So, let's see the different steps to create a custom formatter. First, we'll have to define a name for the formatter. Basically, the name will be displayed in the project editor in the labels and icons section. Next, we'll have to define its type. This will define the source type. Define the binding type for the value type you want to get. Then define the choice list to display value you want to get. And finally, you will define assets if you want to have pictures to include in your formatter. So for example, let's take a look at our Boolean formatter in our app and replace the Boolean status by string values. So our formatter needs to be in our resources folder. Let's look at that. I have a mobile folder and here a formatter folder. I'm going to select my Boolean, then open your favorite code editor to see how it's built. So I'm gonna. So we have a Boolean as a source type. So we put Boolean as type value. And we want to get and set text as binding value, so put localized text to have text in the generate iOS apps. And to finish, we want to have to do instead of false and done instead of true. So let's put to do and done as choice list values. Then you save it and put it in this formatter in our resources here, mobile formatter Boolean, and you put here the manifest of your formatter. My manifest.json is available. I can select my Boolean formatter. So as you can see, it's very easy to build the formatters. Actually, it's possible to create tons of formatters, including formatters that include Swift code. So various formatters are already available in the documentation. For example, here, as you can see, there is formatters like mail, URL, address, and phone. So those formatters will allow you to interact with fields that are associated with the formatters as follows. With the address, you can open Apple Map app. You can dial automatically a phone number using the phone formatter. You can open the mail app with recipient automatically filled in. And all those formatters are available in the 44 iOS documentation website. You can download them and include them like you saw previously in the formatter folder, and they will all be available directly in these labels and icon section. So now that you know how to build formatters like pros, let's see how to build your own iOS forms. So let's go back to our presentation. So the first step we are going to go through is building your screens using the storyboard. Then you need to define a SVG file that will be used on the project editor to build your forms. The manifest will describe your template for example, defining the number of fields you want to include, if it's a list form or a detailed form. So you will define all those informations in this manifest file. And if you have design skills, you can design your own icons and include them into your template folder. Basically, it will be displayed here when I'm going to my form section. Okay, so if you design your own icon, it will be displayed like that in the form section. Okay. Let's go back to our presentation. So let's have a closer look at Storyboard. There is 3 steps when building your template. First, you'll have to choose objects required for your project, like images and labels. Then you will define your element's position using constraints to well position and to put some to define the sizes of your objects. And finally, you will add tags to properly bind your fields when the project is built. I highly recommend you to start building your template using an existing one or an empty one that is available in the documentation, because basic views and transitions are already available and ready to use. So here is an example of what we want to achieve. In short, this custom template will allow you to put as many fields as you want in the easiest possible way using stack views. So the stack view is basically an object available in Xcode that will automatically adapt itself depending on the content inside it. We're going to see that more in detail when building the template. So first, I'm going to open. So I'm choosing to build my template from scratch using an empty template, which include files like manifest.json and the HVG are already embedded into this template. And we're going to focus on the storyboard. And here are all the files we already speak about. And in forms table, we have a storyboard file that we are going to open right now. So let's have a look at that. Here you have a basic table view with just one cell. This cell is basically the prototype of a cell, a basic cell that would be duplicated to build your table view. So first, what we're going to do is opening the library and choose a stack view. We're going to put first a vertical stack view, my template. Here you go. Now I'm going to add some constraint to the stack view to be well positioned and to take all the space in my cell. I'm going to put those constraints. As you can see, the stack view take all the space right now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add now an horizontal stack view in my first stack view. So we have a vertical one, an horizontal one, and now I'm going to put a view into this stack view. You will see the final result it will be very easy after that. So I'm choosing my view, which take all the space again. And what we want to do is adding some labels into this view. So I'm gonna you can access to the library, show library like that, and there is also a shortcut that I'm using to display it. So I'm gonna choose label right now, and I'm gonna put some constraints on it. So I'm gonna put 12 everywhere, like that, and my label is well positioned. Now, a very important step is to define here in the attributes inspector. I'm gonna change the distribution, which is fill actually, and I'm gonna put fill equally right here for the view. When I'm going to duplicate those views, all the views going to have the same size. So now to make things easier, I'm gonna add tags. So basically to match the labels with data, with my database data, we're going to add tags that are going to be duplicated. So select your label, you click here, and in user-defined runtime attributes, I'm gonna add a line. So and I'm gonna open a file just to copy paste it because it will be easier for me. I'm gonna close that, and I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna add one row into this user-defined runtime attributes. I'm gonna paste it. I'm gonna put string here on the type, and on the value I'm gonna put that. So those tags will be replaced at build time to have the right fields. Basically, if I'm going back to my project editor, this will match the field you put here with the tag you have here. So basically, if you have field 1 here and you want it to be here, you will put field 1 here. So my template is almost ready to use. I have just one field, but there is a magic step here that I'm going to duplicate this view right now, and as you can see, the label is well copied just next to the first one. Now I want to have more than 2 fields in my template, so what I'm going to do is duplicate this tag view, and let's see the results. Duplicate it again. So as you can see, you can have as much as fields as you want into your template. So this is quite nice, easy to use. There is no so much constraints to deal with, though it's a nice way to build your list form templates. So now let's add some style to our template. I'm gonna delete that. Sorry, I'm gonna delete this tag view because we want, this is the result we want to get. I'm gonna reduce that for you to see. And here, as you remembered, I put bind to records field 1, and for my labels to be well binded, I have to change that into my other fields. So I'm gonna put fields 2, there I'm gonna put 3, and the last one I'm gonna put 4. So my 4 fields are ready to be well binded here. Okay, so back to my storyboard. I'm gonna add style to my views. So you can add style to your views in labels such as colors, custom fonts. You have lots of options here. It's like the, the property list in 4D, you know, with lots of options here. So I'm gonna change, for example, here my font. By default, it's the system font, but I don't want that. Okay, here I want to select custom, and the Helvetica is quite nice, so I'm gonna select that. Here I'm going to do the same thing to have a nice, I'm gonna put light this time. Here I'm gonna select the same font. I'm gonna put the regular one, and I'm gonna select the template color. Basically, this is the template, the dominant color that I have into my logo that I just dropped here. So it will take the main color, and choosing my template color, this will be applied here. So this is quite nice way to brand your app, to keep the color, the dominant color of your logo into your template. So my template is now ready to use. So as you can see, it's very easy to add colors, to put some custom fonts. You can change the size, background color, and even more. You have lots of options here. Let's go back now to our presentation. If you don't want to build your own template, you may want to test existing templates that may suit better your needs. And I'm really happy to share a major product update with you today. Now you have access to an integrated template gallery directly accessible from the project editor. This gallery is based on a dynamic list of up-to-date templates from GitHub, and there are many templates available and ready to use. The 44 iOS interface has been built to use your template with a minimum effort. Just click on the download button to start working with a selected template. Once the template has been downloaded, you can modify it to suit your needs and share it with others if you want. Let's see how it looks like and how it works in our project editor. So, as you can see, there is this new More button, this More icon that is available for both list form and detailed forms here. Then, the only thing you have to do is here clicking on this More button to display all the template lists, all the templates that are available from GitHub. And the only thing you have to do is select the template that suits your need here. So I'm gonna select the client list template, and 44 iOS will handle all the installation process to help you work faster and more efficiently. So you can start working on the template very fast. And as you can see here, there is this small icon here that that indicates that it comes from GitHub. So this is great, but maybe you want to update it or modify it. All you have to do is go to your resources. So going to my resources, here, mobile, form, list, and here I can find the template I've just downloaded here. I'm gonna unzip it to modify it, and then opening the package.swift file, I can make the changes needed using Xcode. So I open the project in Xcode, and here if I open my forms table and table, I can open my storyboard file like I've done before. So I'm quite on the same configuration here. Modify the style of my view, my element positions and size using my attributes inspector. So it's very easy to use, and my storyboard will be displayed in a few seconds here. Yeah. So I'm on the same configuration as before, and I can make the changes I've done previously with my custom template using the attributes inspector here. So I'm gonna quit Xcode before my computer explodes. Okay. So as you can see, with 44 iOS, we always try to develop a collaborative platform thanks to GitHub, with a growing list of templates, formatters that user can share whenever they want. So now that we have our custom formatter, our custom template, let's see how to build actions, to build action forms. So let's move to our presentation here. So the creation process is very simple for action forms. First, you have to create your action form from the action section. Second, you will have to set your own mobile app action methods that will call your for the methods that already exist, or you will have to create them. And finally, you will be able to use your actions directly from your app. This means that you will be able to create, edit, delete directly from your application. So let's move to our project editor. Here, in this action section, you can define like any other section. You can define the name, icons here with our icons library. Like in other sections, we'll be able to define short and long labels, as well as the table associated to the defined actions, and the scope depending on if you want to execute an action for an entire table or for a single entity. To make your life easier, 44 iOS includes presets actions to manage your app content, so you can create, edit, and delete your data. For this example, we are going to create an add action form to allow you to add pictures. For this, let's create action using the preset add action. So for that, just click on the arrow on the plus button that is at the bottom of the action table, and select the add action for, and then select the pictures table. As you can see, all available parameters and their properties are shown in the action parameters section here. And for all parameter, you can define the format. For example, for date, you have several date formats that you can select. You can select formatters as you've done previously in the labels and icons section. Let's talk about the on-mobile app action database. This database method is available to call all your 40 methods. For the demo, the database method is already filled in, but if you had created from scratch, it will automatically create a case of containing all the actions that you previously created on the actions section. Here, for our add pictures action, we only create an object with parameters that will be sent to our add picture 40 methods. So let's see our project methods here. So here, first we create a reference in this method, and we get the parameters that come from the on-mobile app action database method. Then we have to associate the entity to the parent and save it. Finally, you have to notify the app that the action has succeeded. And finally, notify the app to update the selection. So it's quite easy to build, and let's check out on my generated application how to use it. So for example, here I'm going to my pictures table here, and from the screen there is this button here. I select add, which is my add action with the parameters that I've defined, not for this one but for the existing one, which is there. As you can see, there is my title, date, and pictures parameters that are here. So I'm gonna fill that. Breakout session 2. I'm gonna select the date. So as you can see, depending on the type of the parameter type, the parameter format that I've defined here, the keyboard is different, and this display a relevant keyboard. For example, if you add a number format here, you should have a keyboard that display only numbers. So here for date, we have this nice keyboard that allow you to select the date. I'm going to select the date of today, and here, clicking on my picture field, I can choose to take a picture or select a photo on my library. Unfortunately, I cannot take pictures for my simulator. I'm gonna take this nice picture, and I'm gonna click on done. And here, the notification that tells me that the record has been created. And I have got my title, my dates, and my picture here that have been correctly saved to my database. So as you can see, everything is working well, and now you know how to build your formatters, your templates, and execute some great actions directly from your 44 iOS app. So I hope you enjoyed this breakout session, and I hope you enjoyed the product. Thank you.